Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the recording has started.
I'll wait for you to come back here.
Okay.
Meeting to order. The municipality of Oakland-Wawanesa would like to acknowledge and recognize that we are operating on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 lands, being the original territory of the Anishinaabe and the Dakota Nations and the homeland of the Métis Nation. First item is the adoption of the agenda. Be it resolved that the agenda for the April 16, 2024 meeting be accepted as presented. Move that. Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor Fisher. All in favor? Be it resolved that the minutes of the March 19, 2024 regular meeting of council be hereby approved as circulated. So I can move that. Councilor Hash, seconder. Councilor Fisher. Discussion. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Be it resolved that the minutes of the March 20th, 2024 special meeting of council be hereby approved as circulated. I can move that. Councilor Fisher, second. Councilor McDonald. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Under finance, be it resolved that April 9th, 2024, general accounts payable being checks number 7179 to 7218 and 7220 to 7260 in the amount of $299,021.23 be hereby approved. Please move that. Councilor Hatch, second to Councilor Fisher. Discussion? All in favor?
Mike should declare.
What's that?
You should declare for the next one.
Where what?
That you have an interest because you're getting paid.
Okay, be it resolved, April 9th, 2024, general accounts payable being check number 7219 to Mike Fisher in the amount of $550 be hereby approved. Moved by Councilor McDonald, second Councilor Hash. Discussion? All in favor? Chair. Not kosher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, be it resolved to direct deposit 309 being staff payroll for the period of March 18th to March 29th, 2024 in the amount of $12,177.06 be hereby approved. Moved by Councilor McDonald, seconder Councilor Hatch. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Be resolved to direct deposit 311 being staff payroll for the period April 1st to April 12th, 2024 in the amount of $11,701.31 be hereby approved. May I please move that? Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor Hatch. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved to direct deposit 310 bid council indemnities for the month of March 2024 in the amount of $7,094.65 be hereby approved. May I please move that. Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McDonald. Discussion? All in favor? Utility account, be it resolved that April 9th, 2024 utility accounts payable being checks number 1143 to 1150 in the amount of $6,782.53 be hereby approved. I'm going to move that. Councilor McDonald, second Councilor Hatch. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that the statement of revenue and expenditures report to March 31st, 2024 be received as presented. Councilor Fisher moved it, seconder. Councilor McDonald, discussion? All in favor? Be resolved that the bank reconciliations for the month of March 2024 be approved as previously circulated. Move that, please. Councilor Hatch, seconder. Councilor Fisher, discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, so we are at delegations. If you would like to.
Sure. Mr. Gibb, if you would like to come forward and do your presentation to council. Yes.
Well. Water. Whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. Sam Hutterite has been draining excessively. And he's flooding me out. And over the years, council has approved his little ditches cleaned out, and his idea of cleaning a ditch is something like 7 feet in the bottom and 8 feet deep or something like that. He's cleaning out a ditch by Bryce Fisher's. I could run a motorboat in there. So I believe that I can get rid of it if I can get the ditch cleaned across the road, which belongs to Adrianson. And I think if I come in here with a truckload of crap and dump it in front here, that you'll either charge me to have it cleaned up or put it on my taxes. I don't care that he runs his water through my place, but just get rid of it. And now they're tiling all over in the southwest end there. And they tell me this is good for me, but my feeble mind, I can't put this together because I just come by Ron Badou's place where they tiled his quarter and the water's pumping up like crazy there. So I'm asking that the municipality to see about maybe get into an agreement with Sam or something to clean up the ditch that's for.
So Carl, just ask the Adrianson drain off of his pile is into the ditch on the east side, right? Of 340. That's one you're referring to.
Oh no, his
Badu. I meant Badu. Sorry, did I say Badu? I meant Badu.
Yeah, Badu, but that has nothing to do with me. That's just the way it is.
So the water coming from your land is coming from
all over the west side and southwest area. And Sam changed the direction of the water. The water used to come in through Black Creek. When I was on the council, I cleaned the ditch out there. And there's 2 big culverts, 3-foot culverts and an approach.
Are you talking on the south side of the Trees Bank Road, Carl?
Mm-hmm. And they're dry in the spring. Like that used to, I mean, there must have been a lot of water come through when they needed 2 or 3-foot culvert.
Are you talking about Jeff Elders? No.
No,
On south on the Trees Bank Road. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right there at the end of the end of the road where I live. And and they changed it and they brought it through Bryce Fisher's place. And they well, I guess Water Commission stopped them. But it's like his idea of cleaning a ditch is outrageous. And so
your solution is to, with this whole thing would be which?
to clean the quarter that's across the road from me.
To the east.
Adrianson is no problem to go in there and dig it, clean it out. But I know that if it's in the town, if you got a water problem, the town will go ahead and put funds there to drain things. So I don't see why it should be any different in the country. Because I'm like, I didn't do that. There's been 3 or 4 crops lost. Mike can attest that. He rented land. It's just been lost.
Carl, so when you say cleaning the ditch, are we talking like a foot of material, or what are you thinking?
I'm thinking enough deep enough to get rid of the water. I mean, there's an old ditch there that's been all overgrown and everything else. So I'm thinking a couple of days with a good trackhoe operator.
But we need to do some surveying here first.
Whatever needs to be done, but it just get rid of it.
It has to be approved by the province.
Why was that, Councillor?
Well, all drainage projects got to be approved by the province, so.
I think we're allowed to clean a ditch.
We're our right of way. We have all right to do it within our right of way.
This isn't our right of ways across the field, I think you're talking about, right, Carl?
Well, it's across a pasture, it's not really the field. Well, it is.
Like it's always flooded in the spring, forever. That's okay, but never in the middle of the summer, never. And even in the spring, like man, there's a picture of the spring. There's twice as much water as there's ever been there before.
This is recent.
I was appalled at how little drainage runoff there was this spring and your farm was underwater.
Yeah,
Just,
like hardly any snow white. So.
Yeah. It's just amazing.
So all of that is stuff that my wife has put together over the years. It's coffee I have, so.
Can we'll get
Yeah.
someone to make coffee for us?
Which is that sounds cool.
Where would the water go that's pooled up in your place? Who's it gonna affect? Further down?
It goes down it crosses Billy Damaris's place, his ditch is good, it runs through there. And then it crosses 340 and that, from there it goes down to the Assiniboine. But on the other side of 340, it's all spring fed, it runs all year round.
So, but that's the only place to stop, is it by Adrianson's? That's what's stopping it right there?
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
Well, it's not to keep the flow going. So the Adrianson's, it's just a ditch.
I'm sorry.
At Adrianson's, it's just a ditch. It has to be clear.
Yeah.
Mike, can you take that to Norman, ask her to make copies, everybody?
This. More younger. Think about this.
Chelsea.
Where-
Well,
If you could show me in color, please. Sure.
Yeah,
no
and
problem.
if we have that in our.
How many copies?
Okay.
One for our file retention, I think.
So we have, we'll go into further discussion on this. So,
Okay. So you're gonna need any more from you.
well, yeah, whatever you want to tell us, you go ahead and tell us.
Well, I can't tell you anymore. There's twice as much water's coming down in the spring as there's ever been before. He's changed the direction of the water. And, you know, they're tiling like crazy and somebody must be approving that. So,
So the water's coming, you know the area. Where,
Well, I know all about
how far is it coming from? It must be
well, it's
a long
coming
way.
from, Bill Granger's, like it's coming from away west of Ronko's, so. And it's, but there's been,
Bottlenecks there?
what's that?
It just bottlenecks there?
Well, because it can't get away because of Adrianson's, there's a bunch of beaver dams and everything else in that creek and it just won't allow the water to flow, so. And it just sits there and it's really sad. And I have fought for Carl in the past, basically because I was involved and I'm not involved anymore. And I can tell you the history as much or there's more than he can even, so.
We'll get into that discussion
Yeah.
later. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibb.
Thanks.
Good.
She's just copying it for you.
Yeah, she'll give you the original back.
I'm sorry.
She'll give you the original back.
Okay.
Okay, maybe it's a presentation by Carl Gibb related to drainage on East 22-817 WPM to be received and the matter be considered under unfinished business. So we move that. Councillor Hatt, second, Councillor Fisher, all in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that this regular meeting now adjourns to an in-camera meeting to discuss matters related to performance review and enforcement as per subsections 152(3)(b)(2) and 4 of the Municipal Act. And all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in an open meeting as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act. Move that, please. Councillor Hack, seconder, Councilman Jones, all in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll go turn.
I'm worried about editing after that way. I'm not having to start it and stop it.
Okay.
And then I just want to note that we're going to deal with that item first. But we have to do the back into, or into open session. Okay.
So I think we're here, right? It be it resolved that this in-camera meeting does now resume back to regular meeting. So please move that. Councilor McDonald, seconder, Councilor Hatch, all in favor? Carried. First item we'll deal with is the code of conduct matter. Read your computer.
Okay, let me get down to where it is.
So do that. Firstly. Be resolved that report from Talon Risk Mitigation Investigative Services Incorporated dated April 6, 2024 be received. Councilor Fisher move it, seconder. Councilor Hatch, all in favor? Councilor Rome?
In favor.
Okay, carried. Okay, so then we have, whereas Talon Risk Mitigation and Investigative Services Incorporated included that section 6.2, 7.2, 7.3C, 7.4A, 7.5C, 7.6A, and 7.6F of the Code of Conduct bylaw have been contravened. And therefore be it resolved that councilwoman be required to complete mandatory training courses covering respectful workplace, communication workplace, conflict resolution, basic governance. Where it shall be the responsibility of councilwoman to research options for training, provide a plan for council for approval within 30 days, provide a timeline for completion of the training, and be responsible for the cost of such training. And 2, councilwoman write a letter of apology to council to include A, some admission that he misspoke in the January 2024 council meeting and subsequently posted inaccurate comments on Facebook. And B, that he failed to back check and verify information before commenting and posting on Facebook. Whereby council shall maintain the ability to accept or reject the draft apology letter, and further that following acceptance, the letter be made available to the public. Move that, please. Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor Hatch, discussion. All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed?
Opposed.
And Councillor Rome, you had requested a recorded vote on that when you sent an email to me, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. That vote will be recorded.
Okay, so that is that item.
Now, let's go here.
Are either of the councillors wanting to stay on for any of the other items, or are you both now going back to the business that you had today?
So was that carried or did you mention the business I had?
That was carried.
So I'm going to request a reconsideration at the May meeting.
And Councillor Rome, I've noted that. I will have to check with municipal relations because I believe there is an appeal process that is outlined in the regulations. And I believe that is likely to be the route that you would be proposed that you follow, but I'll check into that for you.
Yes, please record in the minutes that I have requested a reconsideration.
I've got that. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Okay, you're gonna go back, Councilor McGregor? Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Okay, be it resolved that Councilor Rome be authorized to receive a copy of the Code of Conduct interview, and further that administration work with municipal solicitor for establishment of a policy for retention and destruction of all investigative material. So please move that, Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McDonald, all in favor? Okay, so carry on. Be it resolved that the presentation by Staff Sergeant Clint Wickender be received. Please move that. Councilor Hatch, seconder. Councilor McDonald, all in favor? Carried. Be resolved that the annual policy priorities report as previously distributed be received. Moved by Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Fisher. All in favor? Carried. So we'll go to communications.
Okay, under the order of communications, there are a few from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities. They are dated March the 15th, March the 20th, March 25th, April 3rd, and the second one from April 3rd. There's information from Community Futures with respect to reinventing our small towns. That's a session that's taking place June the 10th. DeRoche Event Management sent in a letter of introduction. Earth Day Canada provided information on mobilizing municipalities. Easy Clean Pressure Systems Limited advised that they have taken over pumps and pressure. The Federation of Canadian Municipalities have sent communiques dated March the 13th, March the 18th, March the 25th, March the 28th, April the 2nd, and April the 4th. Health Canada has provided information on Take Action on Radon 2024. Manitoba Agriculture Services Corporation provided information on the 2023 farmland school tax rebate correction. Manitoba Disaster Management Conference provided information on their conference taking place October 16th to the 18th. Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba provided information on the transition plan for the full EPR update. Municipal Northern Relations provided bulletin number 14, let's go back. Bulletin number 2408 with respect to the Winnipeg pipeline repair. They also provided bulletin 09, which is the Planning Act handbook. And there was information on the Rural Manitoba Economic Development Corporation webinar, April the 11th. We did have some information originally with respect to the life expectancy of a water treatment plant, but we haven't had a chance to compare numbers yet with our municipal auditor, so we will do that before we release the information.
Be resolved that above noted communications be received. Councilor Hatch, second Councilor Fisher. All in favor? Carried. Committee reports. Councilor Fisher, you have a written report. Anything to add to your report?
Nothing to add.
Mr. Jones, no report. Councilor Hatch, you had a written report. Anything to add?
Nothing more to add.
Councilor Rome has a written report. Councilor McDonald, written report. Anything to add to yours?
Nothing to add.
Councilor McGregor has written report. Report is there. Nothing to add to it. CAO's report is there. Anything to add?
I would like to indicate that at the AMM convention, there was a couple of sessions that I sat in on that will likely have an impact on councils going forward. The first one in a session with Mayor Reeves and CAOs, there was discussion on strategic planning. And I noted from the call when they asked who had a strategic plan in place, there was probably about 70% of municipalities that do. So council has talked about that previously, but it might be something that you would be interested in taking more action on. I had also participated in one of the breakout sessions on the enhanced 911 that is coming out. There is going to be a requirement for municipalities to enter into a new service agreement, and they will be putting out a webinar in May, and they are strongly encouraging all members of council to take part in the webinar so that they have an idea what the service is going to be, so that they can ensure that they get the support of municipalities moving forward. And lastly, the final keynote speaker of the convention was speaking to cybersecurity and strongly suspects that we will be finding there will be federal legislation coming out to make sure that cyber systems meet ISO standards. And so they said, keep an eye out for that.
Thank you. Finance officer report is there. Anything to add to your report? Public Works manager's report is there. Anything to add? Fire chief. Okay, be resolved that the verbal and written reports be received. Somebody move that. Councillor Fisher, seconder, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? Okay. Be it resolved that that the report from Public Works and Transportation Services Committee of its meeting held April 2nd, 2024 be received, and proposed resolutions be dealt with under the order of general business. So we move that, please. Councillor Hatch, seconder, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Be it resolved that bylaw number 39-2024, being the 2024 tax levy bylaw, be amended by in clause 2A, including the amount of 8.128 mils on the dollar for ESL, commercial and other. In clause 2B, including the amount of 14.150 mils on the dollar for the Brandon School Division and 10.470 mils on the dollar for the Southwest Horizon School Division. And by deleting Schedule A in its entirety and replacing therefore the revised Schedule A, including an increase to additional grants revenue in the amount of $4,800, an increase in miscellaneous revenue in the amount of $15,200, and a reduction in the general mill rate from 10.624 to 10.514. Going to move that, please. Councillor Hatch, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion. All in favor? Okay. Be it resolved that bylaw number 39-2024 is amended, be read a second time. Move that, please. Councillor McDonald, seconder. Councillor Hatch, discussion. All in favor? Be it resolved that bylaw number 39-2024 be read a third and final time. Somebody move that. Councillor Fisher, seconder. Councillor McDonald, this is a recorded vote being a third reading. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so unfinished business. We have the. Is that tabled? What did we do with that?
No, so it's coming forward.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
can give.
So back in October of 2023, there had been an application for tile drainage for property that is in the west half of 9817. At that time, and I've included the resolution that is there, for a number of reasons, council had denied the application. They have since resubmitted. The changes that they have made to their application is that they are including a shut-off valve, and they have provided an indication that they have contracted with a landscaping company to do the required landscaping. I just wasn't sure if that was sufficient for council to consider approving with conditions, or whether they would be interested in staying with the denial. And I don't know specifically how the delegation that tied in this morning with respect to a lot of flooding in that area, whether that has any concerns for council with this application. There has been some discussion that council may want to table the matter pending the opportunity to go out and further look at it, but I wasn't sure which direction council would want to go, so
So they reapplied.
they have
We
reapplied.
do an application. But none of this stuff has changed. Is that right?
What's changed is that they're hiring a company to supposedly, and I don't know, slope and seed the ditches or no?
That's what I'm told.
But
That's not done yet because obviously.
well, it can't be done. It's been winter.
Yeah, you can't do
And I
it.
mean, how long will it take to
To-
get it growing?
Right. Do we,
So, and we don't have anything on a piece of paper that says what areas are going to be revegetated, do we?
No.
No, there's nothing in writing or diagrams or.
No.
Mr. Chairman, I just have a concern too, is like we spoke before, that they've done like a ditch that we understand that has never been, like it's almost a straight cut through, along, and they were supposed to have slopes on it and it's seeded, so to my knowledge, and they've never even acted on that yet, and this is from a project a few years ago, right? And I don't know how many other ones are out there, but like, I just think when they haven't finished what they've started, and then
That's my opinion. As long as Toby sees some progress in this, I don't think we should be looking at another application.
No, I talked with the Public Works on this earlier, and I said we should meet when it's drier to be able to go out and do a visual to see what's actually been done out there. Because I don't think any of this.
on all their projects.
Right, on all this drainage area.
So should we have a tabling motion to table it until
Till we go out and,
further, how do you want to word that for?
Well, right now, what I've got is be it resolved that the matter be tabled pending proof of all requirements outlined in the 2010 license to construct water control works have been met. I don't know, I'm assuming that would be including you guys are going out and actually taking a look at it.
we have to go and look at it.
We have to. Okay, so.
So
do you want to
we
move
could
that?
put it table for further review and pending proof, et cetera, et cetera.
Somebody wish to move that? Okay, Councilor Hatch will move that. Seconder. Councilor McDonald. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, be it resolved that the administration be instructed to seek legal opinion with respect to the state of local emergency declared in adjacent municipalities when they have a potential to affect our local municipality of Oakland-Wawanesa. Move that. Councilor Fisher, second Councilor Hatch, discussion.
I could provide you with a bit of an
Sure.
update. In speaking with the solicitor yesterday, his suggestion is that under the Municipal Measures Act, there is the opportunity that a minister can overturn a state of local emergency. And so in discussing kind of what the background to this was and why the council was looking for something that they would be able to do fairly quickly, his best advice was that if you speak to the adjacent municipality and you don't make any grounds there with what they're planning to do, that immediately a letter be sent to the minister so that he could stop proceedings.
That's available? No.
Not
All in favor? Sure. Okay, be it resolved that the administration be requested to work with affected property owners to ensure dirt road accessibility and usability.
We should put in there on the mile road, just so it's defined.
Okay, so we'll just add that. Be it resolved that administration be requested to work with the affected property owners to ensure dirt road accessibility and usability on Road 42 North, west from Roundway. Somebody to move that? Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor Fisher. Discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it just, and I'm not familiar with this area, can you maybe give us a update on what your
Sure.
thoughts are?
There was, basically, they just want to make sure that there's another access into the field. Another ratepayer uses that area. They want to prevent them from coming through the farmyard. I'm not sure that, if I'm being directed to fix the dirt road up or if we're hauling material in there. What do you guys want us to do?
any culverts required? No. Like I'd be open to, putting a grader in there to, correct the field road. Elevate it slightly with a grader. But I don't, as for gravel, I don't think we should get too involved in that.
Is any other farmers use this?
I think we're gonna start one of
Not
the putting gravel on the
particularly
dirt
that
roads.
section, no.
If we put a grader in there for like a dirt road, can we make it passable for farm equipment?
Yeah, and there are a couple of other farms that come off of that road to the north.
Right.
Whether or not they use that access to get into their fields or whether they use access from other parts of their own property.
And we have done this before on other field roads.
And we have them opened up,
Yeah,
land to open, field to field, sort of thing, yes.
Is it right away wide enough that they can get down with big equipment, or is it going up with trees?
Yeah,
Or
no trees.
no, it's wide enough. And I mean, we have so many feet on each side, right? So I just was more so wanting direction if we were hauling a pit run or if we were just gonna grade it accordingly so that they could get in.
I don't think we want to get into graveling now to dirt roads. But
That just
that's
was-
not too much of a precedent.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Be resolved that the budget allocation for road maintenance, gravel, and trucking under transportation be allocated to the discretion of the public works manager. Moved by Councillor Fisher, seconded. Councillor McDonald, discussion. Councillor McDonald?
So I guess I just have a couple questions here. So I understand under discretion, but just like how much we're gonna do and the contractor's going to do, that's where my thought is with this, like, you know, is that what we're talking about here for graveling?
I think all of it is.
Yeah.
Maintenance, graveling, and trucking.
Yeah, if I could add, the discussion at the Transportation Committee meeting was, the dollar amounts that are approved in the budget. So the discussion was, are you going to try and establish that X amount of dollars go to outside contractors and X amount remain internal? Are you going to try and do a percentage amount go to outside contractors and a percentage amount stay internal? What the final decision was is that ties the hands too severely and doesn't allow work to get done in a timely manner. And for that reason, it was left at the discretion of the public works manager. We'll do work internally where we can and contract out where we need to.
All in favor? Be it resolved that administration be directed to tender for the Tower Road widening project within budget. Councilor Fisher moved it, seconder. McDonald, discussion.
We had this discussion at the transportation meeting and without knowing quantities of material, I think we have to get former councillor Forey slightly involved in this as a engineer. And we have hourly quotes from contractors already. So I think we just need Public Works to get us some values on some material to source, and then we can go ahead with this project.
Okay. You want to put that into the resolution?
Well, the other part of this is, do we do up the tender document with the specifics laid out in it, the way it was done last year? And then it ultimately came back that we didn't get bids meeting spec. And when we redid it and tendered it out, it was for reduced number of miles or whatever, which resulted in not getting anything done. So the other thing that was discussed at the Transportation Committee meeting is, do you do it up as a request for proposal? It could still include what Councillor Hatch is requesting, is that we have an idea of what materials are going to be needed. But when you do a request for proposal, you would outline it to be within a specific dollar amount, and any dollar amount above that not being considered. The proposals that come in, you then base on, if you've got 5, which one out of the 5 best meets the needs that you want, the dollars that are available. If council's decision which way you would prefer us to tender it out.
Like, but do an RFP, you're leaving there's no engineering into it.
I would still say that what we would want to include is involving Councillor Fourie if he was still interested.
He will.
He's been really good at providing some advice to us on what he believes materials would be required. So I think in the request for proposal, if it is for the widening of Tower Road, we would kind of specify the area in particular that we are looking at. And we would be including information that this is what we believe needs to be considered. This is the dollar amount that we have available. Send us your proposals and let us know.
So that would be instead of a tender, you're doing an RFP.
Yes.
I still think rather than throwing a figure to spend, I still think we need to deal with this as a request for pricing, which we already have. Hourly pricing.
You got hourly price, yeah. Are you satisfied with that? That's gonna get the project done. That's up to council to decide then. Want to go that way? You want to
Like-
go RFPs?
Like, I don't think we want to just go and throw the whole dollar amount out there and say, this is what we've got. Can you guys do it for this?
You think there'll be some savings other ways?
Yes,
The tender project.
yes.
Oh,
My thought on this is whatever way we decide to go, we need to get it ball rolling or we'll be like last year. That's my concern with it.
Yeah, like we probably, this is probably not till at least a June 15th on kind of thing. But we should at least get some people lined up to do that work.
You're satisfied with the tender, so we want to change it to an RFP?
Well, we had discussed in the transportation meeting about having a request for pricing put out to local contractors, but Joni advised me is that she already has those prices.
Well, I know you've got at least 2 lists from people that are around here. We picked up another list from the AMM convention. Not to say that we couldn't put a call out to see if there's any others, or if there's agencies that we know of around here, we could certainly ask them to send us a list of their hourly rates so that we would have an idea in preparing the tender.
So leave it as tender? Who moved it?
Councillor Fisher, seconded by Councillor McDonald.
Leave it as tender? Okay. So leave it as that, is that the resolution?
So what I've done is I've put that it tender for Tower Road widening project within budget, including material requirements, hourly rates, and engineering services if necessary. So that gives us a little bit of flexibility if Conrad isn't available and we have to go to somebody else. Does that give you what you think you want?
Read that again.
Be it resolved that the administration be directed to tender for the Tower Road widening project within budget, including material requirements, hourly rates, and engineering services if necessary.
Okay, yeah, so we're tendering for hourly rates, we're tendering for material costs and possible engineering if we need, so required.
Yeah.
Okay.
Councilor Fisher, you okay with that change? Okay. You're okay with that? Okay. All in favor? Okay. These are all from the Transportation Committee, so be it resolved, the administration be directed to tender the Road 107 West project, subject to the receipt of necessary approvals to expend $72,000 from gas tax revenue to cover costs. So we would move that. Councilor McCutcheon, seconder, Councilor McDonald, discussion.
This tender should be something very similar to the last tender again.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Let's make sure we get it within a private contractor, so we meet the gas tax requirement.
Oh, yeah, like the private contractor will be doing it all.
Okay.
Okay, so I've included the material requirements, hourly rates, and engineering services if necessary.
You moved that, you're okay with that
Yeah.
change? Okay. Councilor McDonald, your seconder? Yeah. You okay?
Yep, man, that's,
All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved, the administration be directed to tender for the Park Street repaving and the Highway 340 at Commercial Street Road crumble reconstruction. Who's that? Councillor Fisher, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion. But I think we want to be careful of 340. That's the Commercial Street. That's not Highway 340 we're fixing, right?
It's commercial coming up 340.
Yeah.
it's just one spot.
Yeah, I don't want people to think we're paving 340.
No,
No, it's after you turn
Just at
around.
the intersection.
Would you like
But
to
it's
put
on
that in?
ours.
Yeah, I think that's
Or
important to
the
note that,
intersection?
yeah. It's
Just
Commercial
west of the
Street at the intersection of
Small
340.
spot or what?
Yeah,
Just west of the.
Yeah, it's been breaking up because of the more truck traffic and everything else in that corner.
what size of a pickup or something, one tandem truck, you know, it's just one.
Okay, so you got it.
Yes.
Okay, First Street, okay, all in favor? Okay, be it resolved that the 2019 list of priority road be updated to remove roads completed and to add the following. Road 98 west for the first mile south of Highway 2. Road 43 north, Trees Bank between 100 west and 101 west and 2 miles east of Highway 10. And Road 112 west between 42 north and 45 north. And further be it resolved that administration be directed to tender for Road 46 north Hayfield for 1.25 miles west of the Highway 10. Road 43 north, Trees Bank Road between 100 west and 101 west and 2 miles east of Highway 10. And Road 112 west between 42 north and 45 north, whereby funding shall be expended from the applicable transportation budget line item. With that, Councilor Lewis, the chairman of the committee, you move it?
I'll move it.
Okay, seconder. Councilor McDonald, discussion?
No, you go. I just, one thing about this, if we, with these prices that we're gonna tender for, out of these, like, if they come in higher than we planned, we can not accept tenders, right? Is that what, say?
Well, it's all the time, we put tenders and we don't have to accept.
Yeah, that's what the word I got, yeah, asking you.
Question on, like, say for Hayfield, what are we tendering on?
Well, I thought that came out of committee.
We talked about recrowning
Yeah.
and adding material to roads.
Right.
So that's basically, we're back to the same as we were on the other two projects. This is a request for pricing again.
I would think it's same format,
Format.
same format.
By these priority road lists, is this something that we're addressing as public works, or do you guys want to tender all these out eventually? Because I mean.
If I could, so the list of priority roads were determined in 2019. Through existing budgets, they have worked through and a number of them have been addressed, and that's where you and I went through and took a number of them off. The Transportation Committee has identified 3 new roads that they believe are a high priority to add to that list. And then when they reviewed the full list, they made the determination that the 3 roads that they've identified are the 3 that will be worked on this year, utilizing the gas tax allocations that were included in the budget. So I
Which is-
believe that's a $230,000
Right.
allocation that is in there currently.
Yeah, that's those last 3.
Yes.
That's the ones we're going to be tendering now.
And I will have to, is it only Road 46 North that needs to include the materials and everything else, or do you want all of those requirements in for all 3 of those projects?
Well, the Hayfield Road, well, they'll all need some materials, right?
Hayfield needs it.
Oh, right.
If we only do so much with the
Yeah.
money. Okay?
They both need a certain amount of material and recrowning and packing.
And that 112 was punched right in, like,
Yes.
yes, you definitely need something there, you're not getting it.
So so you want the requirements on all 3 of those?
Johnny, on Road 43 North here, you've got Trees Bank, the first part I see between 100 and 101, so that's a mile stretch.
Right.
And then the last part of that reads 2 miles east of 10. So we're talking,
First 2 miles from number 10 highway.
east of 10, so the part we were talking about doing like a custom project on before.
Right. Right.
So you want those same wording on that?
Yeah, same,
So I put it in the
Okay,
top part so that it covers all three.
who's the seconder on that?
Councillor McDonald.
You're okay with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All in favor? Carried. Be resolved that the request by Wawanesa Mutual Insurance Company for the installation of an EV charging system whereby there shall be no cost to the municipality and all sidewalk cuts will be repaired and returned to their previous state be approved. Moved by Councillor Fisher, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion.
No, Mr. Chairman, any idea where it might be?
Yeah, they're gonna do it right at the corner here,
Oh.
around the corner.
Okay,
Yeah, I think their email stated that it was south of their building, right?
Yeah, it's on.
yeah, perfect.
So,
Great.
and it'll be available to anybody,
Perfect.
not just the mutual. All public who want to use it.
Would it? I guess we can't specify. I just wonder if we'd be better off. I guess they're parked out of the way there.
Yeah, Drew was there and
Okay.
was okay with it,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, good.
All in favor? Be it resolved that the 2013 Pioneer centrifugal pump be repaired whereby associated costs shall be expended from equipment repairs and sewage treatment and disposal. Wish to move that? Councillor Hatch, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion. Councillor McDonald, go ahead.
Maybe Chelsea, I know a little bit of history on that pump, but we've already spent $2,500, I read, right?
Right. Right.
So,
Basically, it's been there for quite some time now, waiting for direction on where you guys want to go as it's, over the amount I'm allowed to approve. It was bought for $29,000, a few years back. A new one would be worth probably up around 50. But it's not worth anything to us, broken, and then we can't use it, so.
and us or the rec commission bought all the hoses to use it, I understand, right? Because
Yeah,
they come
we
without
have.
hoses.
We have all the hoses,
And that's, they're on
Yeah.
a pallet, do I understand, right?
yeah, and it's nice in an emergency situation to have it on hand.
So if we put these repairs in it, how many years of service do you see getting out of it?
I would say 10, we're not using it
That much?
all the time, right? I think that it would be beneficial to have it on hand.
So repairs would be worthwhile, is what you're saying?
I think so.
and were they absorbing their 2,500 into that repair cost?
Yeah. So the 16 would be with that 25.
Would there be any maintenance we could do to that if it happened to be used to try to, so we don't run into the same thing again? I wonder if that's something.
I would think so. Yeah, I think that it was purchased not knowing the damages.
I heard it kind of a story about, that's
Yeah.
right what I heard.
And I mean, that's kind of what happens at auctions sometimes. Nobody's fault, just unfortunate.
All in favor? Carried. Be resolved that the offer to purchase from Kelsey Wogamuth for lots 23 and 24, lot 5, plan 63, located in Nesbit, Manitoba, in the amount of $1,000 be approved. Also, you wish to move that? Mr. Fisher, seconder. Councillor Hatch, discussion? Anybody
If,
want-
I was going to say, if the motion is to approve, then it should be subject to the applicant being required to obtain all the necessary current permits and applications and being responsible for all closing costs to transfer title.
Councillor Fisher, move it? Yeah. Wish to add that?
Mr. Chairman, I just, when we sell a lot like this, I just would, and maybe it's in there, I'd just like to see a timeline that they have to do something with it, so it doesn't just sit there. That's, and tie up the lot.
We don't have anything in our bylaws for that, though.
No, I have her word that their intent is to put a mobile home and an RTM on it. If council wants to include a timeline, and she doesn't feel that she wants to meet it, then her option is to withdraw her offer. So it's up to council if you want to do that.
I think that when you get $1,000 and we transfer, they start paying taxes on it, we're the beneficiaries of the whole thing, so I want to be careful of that too. in case if you want, everybody wants to put addition on that or amend it in some way.
2 years.
Well, I'm just,
What's the 2 years to get it onto a foundation or?
No, to get a mobile home moved in and
a structure.
structure or whatever.
And if that's something council wants to do moving forward, the one that you approved last month did not include that.
Oh,
So
okay,
let's,
well, that's not.
but no, if that's what council
We
wants to do.
could start
then
doing it
let's-
at any time, but it's just a matter that
If
I
we're
want to be
doing that,
consistent with
yeah.
this.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good when we did do it last one.
Okay, so we'll leave that off, other than we do want to put the transfer title, et cetera.
Yeah, and they have to be able to get
And
their
that would-
sewer permits.
Counselor
And
Fisher moved it and.
Counselor Hatch.
Counselor Hatch, you're okay with that? All in favor? Be resolved that the performance review of the CAO of the Chief Administration Officer be received. So we please move that. Counselor McDonald, second Counselor Fisher, discussion. All in favor? Okay, be it resolved that this meeting is now adjourned to meet again on May 21st, 2024 at 9 a.m. at the municipal office in Washington. Read that, Counselor Hatch, second Counselor McDonald, all in favor? Okay.